today around 11 local time, which is what, 2 p.m. Eastern?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern. So right now we've just got our standard open top four, and I'm going to go ahead and toss it here to Reuben. He'll give you the first match for the rundown.
That's right. And our first match is going to feature Justin Wynn, who was the 8th seed who took down Corey Burkhart yesterday. He is playing a blue-white-red flash deck, somewhat similar to the list that Todd Anderson and Jerry Thompson were playing that you saw the deck tech with yesterday. Some notable changes, of course, with, is there Geist in that deck?
No, he has, is it Staticaster in the main deck?
Staticaster in the main deck. So an interesting 3-drop nonetheless in the main deck. He will be facing Ian Kendall, who has the red-black aggro deck that we saw on camera yesterday, featuring some interesting choices. Mostly red, as opposed to the mostly black decks that we've been seeing that were more popular, eschewing the traditional 3-drop Geralt's Messenger for some different 3-drops like Hellhole Flailer.
Yeah, this is a matchup where the Is It Staticaster is going to pay off pretty huge, I think. His opponent's got Falconwrath Aristocrat, Knight of Infamy. It holds off like Ash Zealot, Stromkirk Noble, all those. So those main deck Staticasters are going to be an actual.
Well, I guess it does kill the Stromkirk
It holds.
It doesn't hold it off.
Yeah,
but
that's fair. It does zap that little guy right down to size.
Yes, it does.
And also improves all of the other burn spells. Naturally, Pillar Flame can now kill a Hellrider or perhaps a Stromkirk Noble that got a little out of control early.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think that that definitely does favor the blue-white flash deck, although Ian was going to be on the play, and being on the play with a significantly more aggressive deck certainly has its advantages.
It does. That said, as someone who has played the blue-white-red deck a fair bit more than the other deck, I've always been very happy to see turn 2 Ash Zealot against my Snapcaster Mage deck. That's saying something.
That's fair enough.
Moving on, our other matchup, we have Ken Yokota on Bant Aggro, kind of a strange deck we haven't really seen before. Playing against Corey Paxton on Humanimator, but not the version that took down GP Nagoya. It's a little different. It's focused more on the junk colors. He has Deathrite Shaman, Fiend Hunter. He uses Grizzly Salvage and Mulch to fill the bin for his Angel of Glory's Rise. And he can combo out for infinite life and creatures when he gets Angel of Glory's Rise for Huntmaster of the Fells and Fiend Hunter with a Falconwrath Aristocrat already on the field.
Right. It's a lot more like the block deck.
Yep.
There was a block combo deck that had this infinite combo in it.
I believe it was Ken Yukahiro's top 8 deck from Pro Tour Barcelona.
Right.
I think that was the name.
And you can go infinite, but you don't necessarily need to. He's also got Azel's Conscripts. That I saw used to great effect last night when he was playing against the 4-color blue Naya deck. It's just able to take over a game so quickly because you can trade all of your things in combat, untap, play your 6-drop, and get all of your team back. And so it has the ability to go way over the top.
Yeah, I think that it's a tough matchup for the Bant deck, mostly because Fiend Hunter is a pretty big game. That said, a lot of Corey's cards are significantly worse against this deck than many others. Like Deathrite Shaman is really not much of a player. It's at its best as a Noble Hierarch variant, pretty much. So if he's not firing off Mulches or Grizzly Salvages, it won't even be that impressive. So I think it's going to be a little draw dependent, which a lot of these Humanimator decks tend to be. If you hit the wrong sweat of cards, you're just going to be in trouble. But we may not even get to that match because right now we're actually waiting on Ken. Ken is not in the building.
Yeah, Ken has not shown up yet, so we don't know if that match is actually ever going to happen.
Yep, he's a few minutes from being handed a match loss. So guys, if you happen to top 4 a standard open, showing up on time is...
Be sure to wake up on time.
It is pro tip number 1. We're going to be starting with the other match, which Reuben covered for you, Justin Wynn versus Ian Kendall. And I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to the booth. We've got Cedric and P. Sully ready to start chatting up about that match.